So what happened to that job application you sent in a month ago? Yeah, so a month ago I did a video about how I failed the job interview for a job that I really wanted. At the time I thought, oh well, I'll take failure with stride, and there are multiple other opportunities for me around the institution. Well, there was a position within the same department that I was familiar with, and I knew the manager, and which everybody else in the department wanted me to get into. Want as in highly recommended, strongly encouraged, and I had basically everybody's support. It wasn't really within the realm of my expertise, but I had some experience with it, and I worked in the department and I knew the position, so it seemed like the logical choice, and everybody had the backing of it, and I talked to the manager and told her that I was interested, and she said that she was open to seeing my resume and cover letter. So I sent in my application. 1 month passed, no response. A month is a long time to wait, so I reached out and asked her, hey, what's the status of my application? And it turns out that Human Resources never sent her my resume and cover letter. For whatever reason, HR decided just not proceed with my application. When I found out, I immediately reached out to HR and got ghosted for the better part of a full week. I did get a generic, oh, we'll have an update on your application soon message, but I don't know what HR's definition of soon is because it's been a full week and still no update. The bizarre thing that I just don't understand is why wouldn't you send my resume and cover letter to the manager? And why was there basically no communication with me or even the manager? I talked to her. She reached out to HR. She told me that HR never sent her anything, and as far as she could see from her end, I never applied. Because somewhere along the way, HR decided to just chuck my application into the trash so that it never reached her desk. And then when I reached out to HR about it, they were surprisingly mute. I don't want to presume too much, but I have a feeling that they're avoiding me for some reason. But what for? If you made a mistake, just admit to it and then fix the mistake. And if I truly was that unqualified to warrant such a rejection, to the point that a manager doesn't even see my application, why can't you just tell me? And if the reason is I was egregiously unqualified, well, I beg to differ. I work in the department. I know the position. What other qualifications do you need? Underwater basket weaving? So the end result of this entire kerfuffle is that my contract expires tomorrow, and HR's just like, eh. And what does that mean? I'm unemployed. And my manager told me that, okay, well, you are on a temporary contract, and it was extended, and unfortunately I couldn't extend it this time, so just treat it as any other job where you had a temporary contract, and the contract just expires. But that's not what I'm angry about. I'm angry because HR basically treated one of their own employees like dirt. They can't pretend to not know me. I work here. They handled my application. They're human resources. They should know who I am. My manager also told me to think of the things that you did do, that I accomplished a lot at this position, that I contributed a lot to this organization. And I know that's supposed to make me feel more positive, but that actually stings more. That just hurts more. That's what hurts. I gave so much to this company, that I contributed so much to this department, that I was with this department when it was founded, that everybody in the department agreed I was an asset. Here's the thing. If I got the interview and I failed the interview, I wouldn't be making this video right now. The point isn't that I'm not going to have a job after this. The point is, I'm not going to have a job after this, and I didn't even get an interview. I didn't even get a chance to fail an interview. I basically applied for a position within my own department, a position that I knew about, a position that I had the support of pretty much everyone in my department, all of my colleagues, my manager, the manager I was talking to. And in case that didn't work out, I had a bunch of other applications to other positions around the college, which after this kerfuffle, I'm pretty sure didn't go anywhere. The fact of the matter is, I'm mad because I didn't get an interview. Given the time and effort I put into this department and supporting this organization, and the fact that I had the support of so many people, was that not enough to at least give me an interview? At least give me an interview. At least give me a chance. But I guess the powers that be don't really care. HR in this organization is on a bit of a pedestal. They don't have a public facing email address, at least not that I could find. I've heard countless anecdotes from my colleagues of HR screwing up or being incredibly slow and bureaucratic. Heck, even I have my own stories of HR screwing up my paycheck. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I know I shouldn't speculate too much, but my impression is that HR is very disorganized. I don't think it's malice. Never attribute to malice that which can be adequately explained by, I don't want to say stupidity, being disorganized. But unless I get an explanation from HR, I will never know. All I do know is, bafflingly, I don't have a job anymore. A job lost not from being fired for being a bad employee or for being laid off due to budget cuts. And yeah, you could say it was just because my contract expired, but given the fact that I applied for several jobs and have not heard back, and because the manager didn't even get my resume and cover letter, and because HR is avoiding me for some reason, it does seem like a job lost from ineptitude. That's as far as I'll go. Anyways, I've ranted enough. Future Enoch, I'll see you next week.